are malicious compliance. Leave with a team? Sure thing. The setup. I work for a popular grocery chain that operates in the southeastern United States where shopping is supposedly a great time. I've been with the company for 18 years, 4 of them as a department manager before I stepped down due to being a salaried worker that worked ridiculous amounts of overtime without compensation. That was recently dealt with via a class action lawsuit. I still work in the same department in which I was once a manager, so now I just know about everything there is to know. If anything goes wrong, I can make it right, and if anything breaks, I can fix it. My current manager is an awesome boss. I'd do anything to help out. He understands that his employees are people and not just minions to do his bidding. He's willing to work with us on any scheduling needs, so we're all willing to do the same. That being said, about 2 years ago, we were shorthanded on employees that were able to close the department, particularly those that could close the kitchen. We talked and I agreed to close every night for a while until we could get more people on board and trained in the different areas of the department. This went on longer than expected and he apologized, but I told him not to worry, as I was actually enjoying having a regular schedule even though the hours weren't ideal. Fast forward a few months and we're finally staffed properly. My manager thanks me for my help and we agree that I'll continue working nights because I like the consistency, and he knows that I'll always make sure everything is set up well for the next morning and I make his job easier for doing so. During this time, we've picked a lot of great workers and a couple of awful ones. The great workers were amazing to work with. I called them my A-team, and we'd often get off work 30 to 45 minutes early because we helped each other out and got crap done. The awful workers took note of their willingness to help out and would neglect parts of their closing duties because they knew the A-team would get it done to get off ASAP. This goes on for a while and gets worse, reaching a point where the other A-teamers and I talk to our boss and say that we don't mind helping people out, but we're done doing other people's jobs for them. He agrees and changes the policy so that once we're done with our sections, we can clock out and leave after being checked out by the manager in charge, the MIC. The event. Now, things have been going pretty well, and as long as 2 or more of my A-team workers are closing with me, we're still able to get out early as a team. We always make sure to set up any other closers for success and do general work like taking out the trash, adjusting inventories, etc. before leaving, but we're still able to leave a little early. This is important because we never have to worry about getting overtime. We have a strict no OT policy. Even 1 minute of OT will earn a write-up for the employee and my manager unless approved ahead of time. Then it just so happens that 3 out of the 4 other A-teamers quit within 2 weeks of each other. One found a better job, one had a family crisis to handle, and another moved. I went from working with coworkers that had years of experience in the department to coworkers that have been with a company for less than 6 months for the most part. There are a few coworkers that are approaching their 1-year mark, but I still have more experience than all of my fellow closers combined, probably tenfold. Suddenly, instead of getting out early, I'm having to work past my scheduled times on a bad night and barely getting out on time on good nights. I try to manage my own time to not have to leave early or come in late, but I've been cutting it close. 3 weeks ago, a particular MIC, there are 7 MICs that each have a set night to close, is closing. I'm closing with newbies, and I'm in danger of going into OT. This is a Thursday night, and while I do close Friday, the final day of our week cycle, I make sure to keep some wiggle room in case anything goes wrong on Friday night that keeps me from leaving on time. I finish closing my section, take the trash, adjust inventory, and generally help out as much as I can until it's my scheduled time off, at which point I clock out and page my MIC to check me out. I'd have paged sooner, but I knew that my section was clear. Again, I've been doing this for a long time and wasn't going to be asked to work off the clock. Then the following conversation occurs. MIC, why are you paging me over here? The others are clearly not finished and you should be helping them. Me, I paged you to clear my section so that I can leave and not worry about OT. I did XYZ to help them out and all they have left shouldn't take more than 10 minutes or so. MIC, do you work tomorrow? Me, yes, but I'm closing kitchen and always come in early on those days to ensure a smooth transition and make sure I don't fall behind. The little bit of wiggle room I have left to avoid OT is going to be used for that. MIC, you can't be in danger of OT if you still have another day to work. You know that the entire department is supposed to leave as a team. You leaving before your coworkers isn't right. I'll let you leave this time, but from now on, you leave with your team. Side note, this MIC came in from a sister store after the fiasco mentioned in the setup. The next day, I talked to my direct manager and asked him how he wants me to handle the situation. He assures me that I did the right thing and was just managing my own time to avoid OT. He knows that I always try to set everyone up for success. The entire reason I'm still closing 5 nights a week is for this very purpose after all. I should also mention that on this particular night with said MIC, I left the department a fair number of times to do extra work, get trucks from the back, clean up the back room of cardboard and trash, take out old grease to the canister outside, etc. And she came looking for me while I was doing the side jobs on 2 occasions. On the second occasion, she told me that she wanted me to alert her anytime I'm going to leave the department so she'd know my whereabouts. I thought it was odd since no one else had to do this, but whatever. I later learned that she told my manager that I was taking entirely too many smoke breaks. I take 2 a day as per company policy, and said that I wasn't doing what I said I was doing for the side work and just using them for extra breaks. I sighed internally and had an idea. It was time for some malicious compliance. The compliance. Every night that the MIC has closed, I've had great time complying with her wishes. First, every time I leave the department, she knows. Going to the restroom, paged. Lunch break, paged. Taking cardboard to the baler, running trash, having to help a customer outside of my department, paged, and paged. She's got to know where I am, right? Secondly, I still refuse to put myself in danger of overtime while also refusing to work off the clock. So what happens? I punch out at my scheduled time no matter what, and then I'm on my own time. I sit down at my manager's desk, pull up other malicious compliance stories from this sub on YouTube, and start enjoying his malicious compliance posts at full volume while my coworkers continue to finish up around me. Last week, she saw me on my phone. Her. What exactly are you doing? There's still more work to be done. Don't you see your coworkers still working? Why are you just sitting there? Me. I've already done my work, helped out as much as I could, but still had to clock out on time. I'm just here waiting for them to finish so we can leave as a team. That's what you wanted, right? The fallout. Nothing spectacular, yet. She gives me the stink eye now and again when she sees me and simply smirks back at her. She tried complaining to my manager, but he always has my back. I even shared with him that I've considered further malicious compliance if she keeps pushing me by keeping her updated on my whereabouts even when she's not the MIC. I'm keeping that one up my sleeve for the time being. She never stated that my updates were needed only when she was MIC, so I'm just waiting for her to try something else.